Hey guys, I want to do a little video here. I'm going to try to keep it under 10 minutes. I'm going to shoot for around 5 or 6, but we'll see how it goes. I'm going to try to go through this pretty quick. I want to cover basically some of the reasons why I got into Malifaux. This here is the first book that I bought. I actually bought this and Rising Powers at the same time, but this is our first rule book. And just going to open up here. Probably not going to be able to see a lot. I did a review on this book already on my blog, and honestly, the way it's laid out, it was a little difficult for me to A, find rules, and B, find them again. One of the things it does is it kind of bounces back and forth between rules like this and fluff stories, and then it'll go right back into rules again. We got combat. Another thing obviously I like is the artwork in this book. I think it's fantastic, but all in all, the way the book was laid out, I love the fluff in it, and also honestly that is one of the only things that this first book is good for still. Most of, if not all of the rules in here have been updated. Even the stats for the various characters here have been replaced with version 2 cards, which can be downloaded online now free. No big deal on that. If you do buy models, even if you buy, say, a McMorning now, chances are the card that comes with the model is going to be the V2 card. And I'll actually try to, I don't know if you can make it out here, but there's a little right there, V2. And this is one of the cards. I actually laminate mine. That way I can use a dry erase marker and mark off wounds and stuff like that. And it helps protect it. There's stats on one side. Walk and charge, basically your movement stats. Height of the model, willpower, casting stat, defense, wounds, and then his melee weapon here is a cane. And this is Nicodem, which you guys should have saw my video. My undead pimp, I've got him painted up in a purple. But then you got basically his abilities and stuff on the front here and his wounds, and then you flip it over and it basically explains the abilities better on the other side. So yeah, most of the stats here have been updated. The fluff in here is still fantastic. As I've read through the stories in this book, I actually ended up liking the game more and more. Another thing is the fact that you can buy a box set, which I don't have one next to me here. Nope. But you can buy a starter box set. Like Nicodem came with 3 punk zombies and Mortimer. I think that's it. But regardless, you're looking at about 20 to 25 points in most of the boxes, and you can buy them anywhere from like 25 to 35 bucks. So with one of those in the rule book, you can get started on this game. Now, like me, I even bought 2 of them right off the bat, so that I'd have another crew, which are called crews in this rather than armies or forces or anything like that. So I bought 2 just so I would have another one in case somebody else was interested in trying it out. I would have them here. So for about $100 I had got the rule book and 2 starter sets, as well as 2 fate decks, which is another big difference here compared to most of the other wargaming. We don't use dice. We use cards, and they're basically suited with the fluff for Malifaux, but all in all they basically follow a regular deck of cards. We've got jokers in there, which those are basically your wild cards. Red one's the best, black one's no good, you don't want that. But all in all, you've got suits, you've got crows here, you've got tomes, you've got rams, and you've got masks. Kind of hard to see on most of those. Let me see if I can find one easier to see. There you go. And then you've got masks, and that's the equivalent of hearts, diamonds, spades and clubs in a regular deck of cards. So we use these. One of the things I liked is you have a control hand, which allows you to cheat fate. So you draw, I won't get into too much of the mechanics here, but you'll basically draw cards so that you always have a fate or a control hand at the beginning of each turn, and you can use that to try to get things to go off, such as spells or abilities that you would not get on your flip. So that is the fate deck. Put that off to the side. So the second book I got was Rising Powers, and I actually got it at the same time I bought the first book anyways. But this just basically added more fluff as well as some more characters. Some more cool artwork. Another thing to keep in mind, they added a lot more dynamic to the abilities in the, I guess you can call it, second series of these crews and masters and models. And I don't want to say that they're more powerful, but that is kind of the consensus. But again, fantastic artwork in here. There's some of the models that I'm painting up now. Villarreal, Chikome. So I'm not going to get into that too much. This one, your rules are starting to get better, more recent. The last book, most recent, is Twisting Fates. And this one introduces avatars. And I'll see if there's only one that I own so far, and that is Seamus. There's Nicodemus. I don't have that. I don't know if it's even been released yet. But there is Seamus's avatar. So I thought that was just awesome looking. Kind of a Incredible Hulk slash Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type guy. So we added avatars, and then of course there's still a ton more fluff. That's what all these pages here are. And then we've got just a scattering of more models that were released. And the models from this book are even still being released. Now, the last thing, this is a mini rule book, and you can see here, kind of compare the thickness, quite a bit thinner. But this is basically your condensed one, no fluff, just bare bones, give me the rules. Talking about deployment here, encounters, explaining the rules, explaining turns, how damage and attacking works, cover, everything. This book has been fantastic for me as I began getting through my first few games. A lot easier to find rules. I can find them again very easily. It's got a great index. So all in all, I would pick up this book if you're basically just wanting to get into the game playing this book and get your crew started. Then start getting the other books as far as getting into the fluff. Another reason I like the other books is the stats are in there. So if I want to try out a model before purchasing it, I can proxy something and just use those stats, see if it's going to work in my scheme, which is another thing. I mentioned in some of the comments on previous videos that one thing I like about Malifaux, it's not just always, can I annihilate my opponent? You know, can I table him? There's actually a possibility, the way strategies and schemes award victory points in this game, that you could table your opponent and still lose. If you take annihilation and wipe them out, I believe it's 2, maybe 4 points max. Well, before you table him, he could actually end up getting 4 to 8 points himself. So he could actually beat you before you table him, and you could lose. So just something to think about. I do plan on doing some battle reports, guys. Basically, I just want to get some things painted up. It is the holiday season. Pretty busy with family things going on, shopping, trying to avoid crowds, you name it. But I am still painting. I did a little bit of work on my Kirai crew, the session. I think it was Saturday. either Friday night or Saturday morning, and then checked my mail and found out that my minis arrived that I'm actually going to paint up and give to my cousin for Christmas. So I dropped what I was doing for my stuff to get those painted up so that I had it painted up in plenty of time. That mini that I'm doing for him is actually painted. I'm just trying to figure out exactly what I want to do for the base now. I'm either going to just do a small base just on a wooden socket, or I might give him like a mini diorama with it. I haven't quite decided yet. So that's it for now. I hope to have another video, maybe 2 before Christmas. If not, I just want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas. Hope you guys have a great holiday, and I'll talk to you soon.